Now, the next lesson you got to learn when you're in Shawville is all about bacon, and you want to get into that bacon in there. Unfortunately, they don't let you taste any of it, but you can see how well it looks. A great bunch of bacon over there, and if you can get into the 4-H booth and get a hamburger and learn how to make a good meal, you got a good meal over there. And you get to see the beautiful quilts over on the side. Don't forget to fill out your ballot for a quilt in there. The Victoria quilts are in there, and don't be there leaving without filling one of those in for sure. And a great bunch of ladies in there. And the other thing they got in there is some preserves, lots of preserves. And one of the preserves, the one preserve they don't talk about as near as much is a little bit of salt. And see, back in the old day before we had refrigeration, you had to salt everything or you were near. Well, the people that didn't salt died. So you pretty near had to salt your food. And that's where this song came from. Come all ye young lads and young lassies who hanker to work on a farm, be careful when choosing a master that may serve you and keep you from harm. Now when I was a strapping young fellow, aged about 17, well, I hired myself to a farmer at the horse fair in Ballynaskeen. Now his farm was way up the mountains, and it was all heather and bog, and my job it was to look after his donkey, his goat, and his dog. Now me, the farmer, and his mother, we lived in a run-down old shack, and his mother was well over 90. By the way, she'd give me no slack. There was only a tumble-down ruin, held up with old yellow clay, and the roof was all past repairing, for the goat had the thatch eat away. Now the farmer was a terrible old skinflint, his heart was as hard as a stone, and he worked me from sun up to darkness, and in a month I was just skin and bone. And he fed me on nothing but piners, he said it would make me a man. Well, it damn well near made me a dead one, for eating half raw off the pan. Now the farmer had 3 hens and a rooster, and one day they all died in the coop. So he plucked them and boiled them and salted them, and we lived for a month on the soup. It was then poor old Neddy the donkey broke his leg and suffered great pain. So he shot him and skinned him and boiled him, and called for the salt once again. It was then poor old... oh, I lost my place. Isn't that terrible, eh? Terrible. Just as you're going good, and you lose it all there. I thought now his mind was affected, and myself I was going insane. For when poor Fido died of distemper, but he called for the salt once again. Now when I thought of what happened, poor old Fido, well, I couldn't sleep for thinking that night. And when I got up early next morning, he got a most terrible fright. His mother was dead by the fire. When I ran for the door, he cried, "Halt! Where are you going so early this morning? Get back here and help me to salt." Well, I out to the door like a rocket. I had to get out of that hod. When I tripped in the yard with excitement, out he come running with salt. Well, I took to my heels like a cowboy, and over the hills like a hare, and I didn't stop running for a fortnight, and I've never gone back to a fair.